from the title itself you will be able to understand what you mean by occupational. That is some kind of disease associated with the participating in certain kind of occupation. That is known as occupational lifestyle disorders. So this kind of lifestyle diseases are health condition that arise due to nature of one's work and associated lifestyle choice. So that is known as occupational. For example, police people, they will be standing in the for a longer time. So they may have problems like varices, etc., because of too much time in standing. So these diseases are often developed over time due to prolonged exposure to occupational hazards, then repetitive tasks, sedentary behavior, stress, or unhealthy work environment. So we will be examining some of the important occupational diseases and what are the causes and what are the preventive methods that we can take. So one is musculoskeletal disorder. For example, back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome is a very common problem, especially now at this point there is a group of bones, and these bones are known as the carpal bones, and these carpal bones, I will show you the picture. It's a very big, especially people who are using computer too much time, riding a vehicle for a longer time. All these people will be having this kind of problem known as carpal tunnel syndrome, especially this IT professional or people who are using their wrist or fingers too much time are having this problem known as a carpal tunnel syndrome. So in the case of carpal tunnel syndrome, here you can see that. So here you can find this is a big good picture of how this is affecting your body. The problem with the carpal tunnel syndrome is that now there is a nerve. See here you can see that. See, this is a group of bones. Here you can see that. Through that, and there is a gap here. Through that, number of nerves are going. In some people, naturally, this hole will be very smaller. And what happens is that there will be stretching of this neuron, especially when we are holding something like this. Because when we are keeping the hands like this, there will not be any problem. But if you are holding something, just like you are gripping some object, this nerve will be extending, or there will be some pull on the nerve, and that will be creating a problem, and these people will be having some kind of numbing, or sometimes early morning there will be some pricking sensation on your hand. All these are problems of carpal tunnel syndrome. It's a very common problem in many people, especially as you are getting older. These kind of problems can come into effect. So this is known as a carpal tunnel syndrome. Then arthritis, joint pain. Then repetitive strain injuries. Strain also means ulk, that is the meaning of so this kind of problems can create. Then back pain is a problem if you are not sitting properly, your chair is not okay, then severely over a period of several years you will be having back pain. Then prolonged sitting, poor posture. So if you are not sitting properly, not walking properly, in the beginning there won't be any problem, but after several years there will be a lot of problem. Then repetitive movements, you are doing the same activity again and again for several times. Then heavy lifting, for example you are lifting some object, and right now people are quite young, and if you go to a supermarket you are carrying that bag usually having 5 to 10 kg, it won't be creating any problem. But after 35 or 40, if you are doing the same thing, that may be sufficient for you to have a back pain next week. So this is very important because you are not very much used to that. If you are doing that work every day, it won't be creating any problem. So remember one important thing, what I will say, you respect your back or you will be in trouble. Because if you feel that I am very good, I am very strong, I am very healthy, then surely you will have all this problem. People who do not respect their back usually have this kind of problem. Then ergonomic workplace setting. Ergonomic means comfortable, healthy work. That's ergonomic chair that gives you postural comfort, regular stretching of your legs, regular stretching of your hands, etc. Especially you are sitting before a computer. Nowadays, almost every job needs a lot of time before the computer. So when you are using computer, one important thing you have to make sure that always try, if you are, especially if you are using a computer, do not use a laptop all the time. One problem with the laptop is that you have to bend your neck a little. So if you are using a desktop, you are looking the desktop at the straight level. Why we are all using desktop? Because desktop means your eye vision is in the same way. Otherwise, we have to look down, and that looking down will be creating neck problem or neck pain or neck sprain after several months or several years. Then treating it is very difficult. So preventing the occurrence of some problem is better than going for a treatment. Then proper lifting technique. If you are lifting some object, then especially during, for example, you are traveling. Traveling means sometimes you may need to carry heavy bags. Always make sure that the bag is having some kind of wheel so that you don't need to lift it too much. Because lifting a heavy bag too much time may create a lot of problem, especially in young days. At younger ages, it is not a big problem, but as you get older, these kind of problems will be coming. Then second is cardiovascular diseases. In the case of cardiovascular diseases, you have seen that the hypertension, heart diseases, and stroke are the three main cardiovascular diseases. And most of the time, these are caused by sedentary, sitting type of job, and high stress. So this is an important thing, especially modern lifestyle are naturally tuned in such a way that people have too much tension. And there is no such a thing in private companies or corporate companies which they say as work-life balance. If you work 20 hours a day, they are very happy. So that is the way most of the corporate companies are set up. Unhealthy diet. So eat well. Always make sure that you have a balanced diet. Then physical activity. Physical activity is also an important part of thing. Nowadays people are more conscious, but earlier, 10 years back, Kerala people won't do much physical activity. Now there are more and more people are involved in physical activity. But if you still take percentage wise, I don't think more than 20% of the people in Kerala are involved in any kind of regular exercise. So that is the number. Then regular exercise, then keeping your mind okay. So managing your stress, that is a very important thing, especially for women. If you get stressed, if you have tension too much time, then it is going to affect, because women can have tension for every silly thing, especially the things that are happening at home, things that are happening at in a workplace. All this can make a woman completely exhausted, completely burn out, and this kind of burnout syndrome can severely create too much problems for your life. Then healthy eating is an important thing. Then eat well, eat properly, enough, sufficient food in the right quantity is an important thing. Then another important thing is a routine health checkup. So right now we may not have much problem, but after 25 or 30, go for one medical checkup, one thorough all body medical checkup. Nowadays, if you pay 5,000 to 10,000, there are complete all body medical checkup conducted by many hospitals. So at your age, maybe at 25, you can do that. So that if you have some kind of problem which are not visible outside, that will be dictated early, and you can have a treatment earlier. Then every 5 years you go for a medical. So 25 one checkup, 30 one checkup. After 35 again do. After 35 you should go for more frequent medical checkup. That is every 2 years or every 3 years. So because after 35, the chance you will have many problems like blood pressure, you can come, cholesterol problems, you can come, obesity, you can come, back problems, you can come. So after 35, there should be periodic regular health checkup. So advantage of this health checkup is that you may be spending some amount of maybe 5,000 to 10,000, but it will be saving a lot of money that you are going to spend on hospital treatment later. So because if you have some problem, dictating those problem earlier can make you deal with that problem in a better way. So that is the advantage of routine health checkup. Then metabolic disorders can also happen in this occupational problem like obesity, diabetes and metabolic syndrome. So all these are actually taking place because of poor diet. Then lack of exercise. So exercise is an important thing. So what eat enough. And there should be enough exercise. Then there should be enough happiness in your life. These are very important things. So if you do not feel happy, if you do not feel satisfied, contentment in your life, then your life will be having all different types of problems, because our body is designed in a way. Our body will be affecting your mind, and our mind will be affecting your body. So both are actually it is like a reversible reaction. But if there is some problem with your mind, that is going to affect your body. If there is some problem with your body, that is going to affect your mind. So both way, in both the direction, it can affect. So it is important that both your mind as well as your body are in a good condition. Then irregular eating habits. So as I told you, every day we have to have minimum 3 times food or 4 times food. So that you have to take at the right time. Do not skip it ever. Even if you are extremely busy, do not skip your meal. And one way by which you can have a proper work-life balance is that, so at office, do things what you are supposed to do in a office. Do not take your things to your home. Office work to your home. That is why yesterday I told you, never take work from home. If you take work from home, it is going to spoil your official life as well as your personal life and family life. It is sure sign that your family will be having problems later. Maybe it may save you some money, it may give you more physical comfort, but at the same time, the emotional difficulties that you are going to have later in your life is too much. So never take that. So because one advantage of working in office is that you are meeting so many people, you are sharing a lot of jokes, a lot of other small things in your life. But if you are not having that opportunity, daily you are sitting at home, you are only seeing your husband or your parents or children. After some time, what happens is that there is nothing new in your life. You are seeing the same thing every day. But when you come to office, for example, you are not coming to the college, but there are no interesting things are not going to happen here. Every day you are seeing your parents, your brothers or sisters or your grandparents, same faces, and they will also tell you the same thing. So after some time you may feel bored. So that is the same problem may be happening. And if you are doing work from home, it is actually a technique designed by corporate companies to make them more profit rather than to give you some comfort. Their intention is to make more money out of that. So one important thing in modern life is that how to live properly, work-life balance. So nowadays you are, especially many of you may be getting job in a corporate companies or private companies because government jobs are becoming less and less. So when you work in a private company, there may be too much stress. You might be seeing that you may be interested in going home by 5:30, but you see that all the people are sitting there still till 7:30. Then if you are in a junior position, you may be in a confused setup whether I should leave. But try to always make sure that do not sit too much time, because if you spend 1 hour extra in your office, that means you are giving 1 hour extra less time for your family and for your personal needs. So if you do not care your family, then your family life will be in mess. That is a problem of too much working. So this is an important thing. Give right time at office and give enough time at home. So that is an important thing. Then mental health disorders are there: anxiety, depression and burnout. And these kind of problems are more severe or more affecting women than men, because women have a nature of basic insecurity. You try to find difficulties when you move to some new place, rather than comfortable things that you are noticing, most of the time you may be noticing what are the things that are going to create problems for you. So that is the way the mind of a woman normally works, and women have a microscopic observation. You try to see fault in everything. So that also create problem, because when you see a problem, and if you ask your mother, mothers will be always very microscopic in knowing their children, but fathers are not like that. Fathers will be always have a telescopic observation. They will be thinking what you are going to do after 2 years, what you are going to do, where should I place her, what should be I should. So that is the way most of the men think. So women think in a different way. Microscopic observation are there. That is why most of the women can find fault very easily. So now another thing that, so this is what I am telling you is that as a woman you should know how to be comfortable, how to keep your anxiety at a lower level, how to prevent burnout. So this is a very important thing. Men may not be affected by, because men are always going out. So when there is some problem in the family, who is going to suffer? It is not the man, it is the woman who is suffering. If there is a problem with your parents, your grandparents, it is the woman, it is the wife, or it is the mother usually suffering. So there is one important term called emotional labor. You might have about emotional labor, just like physical labor. Women have an important role in emotional labor. Women contribute a lot of their energy and time in this emotion. Emotional labor means mending the family, keeping the family okay. So that needs a lot of time, a lot of energy, and that is known as emotional. Nobody is understanding this emotional labor done by the woman, because if the woman is not doing that emotional labor, what happens? Family will be slowly moving away. There may not be any talks in the family. People come home late and people eat late. There are no family, not even sharing meals together. All this will be slowly making the family apart. So that is known as so that aspect is known as emotional labor. So remember that it's an important responsibility of every woman, which you are seldom appreciated. But it is the women in a house who are mainly responsible for keeping everyone together. But nobody will be giving an appreciation for that. Then work pressure, long working hours. Then job insecurity. So nowadays the problem is that there are a lot of jobs available. So what happens in modern society like Kerala is that you may get a job, but most of the day they will give you 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. If you want to get a salary more than 20,000, it is really difficult. So that is a problem in modern Kerala, especially. That is why many people are going to Bangalore. But in Bangalore, what is happening? If they give you 50,000, it is same like we are having 20,000 or 25,000 in Kerala. Because in Bangalore, everything is expensive. Even staying in a PG itself will be very expensive. So that is a problem. So the job insecurity is a major problem, and that job insecurity is going to create too much stress for you. Then, mindfulness practice, counseling, adequate rest, positive. So this is also an important thing. You cannot do much thing to change the situation in your office. So when you move to a new office, sometimes you said everybody there are really irritating people, really nasty people, very much troubling people. Then what you can do? You cannot change their nature. But one thing you can do that, just like Gandhiji's principle of non-violence. When somebody is attacking you, do not attack back. So after 2 times they stop attacking you. So that is the effectiveness of non-violence. So when somebody shouts at you, do not shout back. So they may again 2-3 times they may again shout, but after 4th time they may start thinking that this is a nice person. Why should I waste my energy by simply shouting at her and creating more enemies? So over a period, this is my strategy here. If somebody is attacking me, somebody is finding that, most of the time I don't respond much. So that after a period of time they feel that there is nothing, it is better to stay calm with that person. So that policy can also be, that is a positive work environment. You must know how to be happy in your personal life as well as in official life. If you want to change everyone, you cannot change anyone. You can only change yourself. So even if you try, even if you are in a superior position, at the position of a boss, you cannot change a lot. You cannot bring a lot of changes. You may think that some physical changes, some administrative changes you can bring, but real change you can never bring, because people will be there. Whatever you do, they will remain like that. So you create an impression that you are a good person. So when somebody is, when you have problems in your personal life, you are not going to talk about that problem with everyone. You will only select few people, and always be a good listener. So that is one way by which you can improve your official work life. Because in office, what usually happens is that you may not get anyone to talk about your problem, talk about your feelings. So being a good listener is a better way than being a good advisor. So even if you don't do much great things, be a simple person. So being simple and being a good listener makes your official life always very smooth. So that is an important thing. Then respiratory diseases are the different types of respiratory disease, like asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, all about which we have already studied. Then pneumoconiosis, that is a kind of pneumonia. So all these are actually caused by exposure to dust, chemical, smoke, and poor ventilation. These are the response. So if you are, for example, you are working outside, you can use a mask. So protective gear, proper ventilation, then cleaning AC properly, because AC will be having a filter. So unless you, so one problem with AC is that if you do not service AC properly, that will create this kind of problem, and it will also take more electricity. Then vision problems are there, especially computer vision syndrome. So see, there is a new term for that, computer vision syndrome. Simple is that if you are using computer too much time, that will create, so eye strain, dry eyes. So when we are looking for a computer, wash your eyes after some time. So sometimes you may have extreme problems. So for example, if you are living in certain countries like Australia, their humidity is very less. So what happens after a period of time is that unless you drop moisture drops in your eye, at the corner of your eye it becomes dry and you feel eye pain. So that kind of problem is that. So if you are using computer, what you can do is that normal eye washing may be good, but if that is not work, you can, there are moisturizing eye drops are available which you can buy from medical shop and put in there. So that will also make your eye more moisture in your eye. So dryness of eye may not be take place. Then headache. So always keep the brightness of computer at a lower level, so that too much brightness can create headache. So this is also many times I have seen that many women do not know the basics of operating the computer hardware. So if the brightness of the computer is too much, they are not bothered about reducing it. So if it is too much, always reduce it properly. Then blurred vision. If there is eye problem, wear a specs, because there are special spectacles available. Even with the normal spectacles, there is a filter known as blue filter. So if we put that blue filter film on the on your specs, that will be reducing the amount of blue light entering your eyes. So that keeps you more comfortable. Then prolonged screen time. So when you are using a computer, make sure that you stand up from your chair and move a little. So walking a little is very good. Then improper lighting. So when this is a major problem that you people. So instead of computer, you are using mobile. Many times you may be sleeping, going to bed with mobile, and you are turning off the light and you are seeing the mobile. That is a very dangerous thing for as far as your eyes are concerned, because the room is dark and only mobile screen is there. So what happens is that too much light will be entering into your eye, and that may cause damage to your retina as well as cornea later. So improper lighting, blue light exposure, that is also a problem. That is why blue light filters are there. The people who are using specs, they know that there is a kind of film. For that we may need to spend another 1,000 or 2,000 for that blue light filter. Then regular eye breaks, 20-20-20 rule. That is after every 20 minutes you might take some That is in an hour. After every 20 minutes, you must take a small break. That is the meaning of regular eye breaks. Blue light filters, then proper screen positioning. How the screen is positioned, that is also an important thing in managing the computer vision problem. Then what are the risk factors in occupational lifestyle disease? Physical inactivity due to desk job. So that is an important thing. Unhealthy diet due to work schedule. Already we have discussed. Then prolonged exposure to harmful substance. For example, you are taking dust, you are taking smoking. Sometimes when you are living in many apartment, what many guys do, they go to the balcony and smoke from there. So people who are living upstairs will be all getting all the smoke. They are actually exhaling. So this kind of problem sometimes you may be facing. Then you might should take proper precaution. Either make them prevent, make them convince that you should not do like that, or you put some window glasses in the balcony. The high stress and mental pressure. So extremely, this is also a major problem already. What happens is that many times in private companies they give you too much a target, which you may not be able to achieve. So if you are not able to achieve the target, what happens is that you may lose the job. So because they say that if you are not doing, just leave. We have other people. So that such kind of attitude from your boss may create a lot of stress, especially before when you are single, you may not be concerned. But after 30 or 35, when you are living a family life, you know that even if I am getting 20,000, if the family is not getting that 20,000, you know how the family is going to be affected. So that will create too much pressure. Then proper work-life balance, ergonomic practices, sitting in the right type of chair. Then preventive measures are there, and these are the one is ergonomic workplace design to reduce, that is using the type of chair that support your back properly. Then regular physical activity and stretching at work. Then healthy eating habits and proper hydration. Drink even if whatever kind of job, daily drink a lot of water. Drinking a lot of water is good. It is never bad. So if you do not have the habit of drinking water, start that habit. Drink a lot of water. It makes your body healthy and more hydrated. Then work-life balance strategies to prevent stress and burnout. That is also an important thing. We have been discussing that for so many time. Mental health support like counseling and stress. Sometimes problems is sometimes some people have a natural skill in finding solutions. Some people may not be having. If you feel that you need some kind of external support, go to a psychologist. Most of the time, counseling, clinical psychologist, and they will listen to you, and they may sometimes give you some medication that helps you to keep your brain more calm or more relaxed. But taking medications is not a good way, because all medicine comes with its own side effects. Then a regular health check and screening for early detection of disease. So one important thing is that having a healthy mind in a healthy body. So this is a healthy mind in a healthy body is what is more important. So as I want to tell you that you people nowadays may be going to live maybe above 90. You may think you may want to die at 80 or 70, but what the reality is that you may be going to live above 90. And if you are getting old at 50, 40 years you are going to live as an older person. So do not get older at 50. Because if you get older at 50, if you develop that attitude, then you are not going to do anything. So make sure that your engine, your body is in a good condition for a longer time. So there are people who are, for example, there is a very famous billionaire called Warren Buffett. Yesterday, there was a news that he is around 92 or 94, and still he is in a very active person. You see Donald Trump, he is around 80 plus or something. See how active is that. So that is an important thing. Being active is very important, and for that you have to keep your body healthy. And always remember that there is because modern life is like that. There is better treatment, medical care, and more nutrition. So people will be living longer. So when you are living longer, you have to be healthy both physically, mentally, as well as socially. And there is an important thing that I want to tell. After 60, most people will have one important problem. Suddenly, till 50, you are actually taking care of children. You may have a job, but after 60, you do not have a job. You are getting a retirement benefit, you are getting some pension. With that money, you are living. Then children, most of the time, they may have married and they have their own family, and they are bothering up. So, what I am going to do after 60? So, this is an important question, and unless you have something very clear to do, something very an important purpose in life, you feel lack of purpose. That lack of purpose after 60 is a big problem for many people. So, and be involved in some simple activity, some social activity, something that makes people happy. So such simple things can make more meaning to your life. So having a purpose in life is an important thing. Sometimes you may feel that my life is always full of troubles, but suddenly if you think that if there are no trouble, what I am going to do? If there is nothing, there is no trouble, no difficulties, then what I am going to do? So if everything is fine, and then there you may feel that there is no purpose. When you have difficulty, when you have shortage of money, you want to solve that problem. When you have children who are not studying, then you have a purpose. When all these purposes are gone, what is your purpose? That is an important question affecting many people, and especially during old age. So we stop here.